Here's something nobody tells you about getting a raise. It might be the worst thing that ever happened to you. Because while you're celebrating that extra $10,000, rental property investors are using buy and hold, real estate strategies to generate that same income forever without showing up to work. This isn't about getting rich quick. This is about understanding why the FIRE movement, popularized by Vicki Robbins' book, Your Money or Your Life, chooses real estate investing as their primary vehicle to financial independence. Let me show you the math that changes everything. Most people follow a path that feels like common sense. School, degree, job, promotions, raises. And for a while, it works. You're making money. You're responsible. You feel like you're winning. But then something strange happens. You get that raise you've been working toward. Let's say $10,000 more per year. And within 6 months, it's gone. Not wasted. Just absorbed. Better apartment, nicer car, lifestyle inflation. And you're right back where you started. So you work harder. You aim for the next promotion. Maybe you switch jobs for better pay. And the cycle repeats. Here's the part that keeps people stuck. This doesn't feel like a trap because you're actually making progress. You are earning more. You are building a career. The problem isn't the effort. It's the math. Your income has a ceiling. Your time has a ceiling. Your energy has a ceiling. And eventually, working harder stops working. This is where most people start searching for passive income or side hustles or ways to make money while you sleep. And they get overwhelmed immediately. Crypto, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, day trading, online courses. 1,000 voices screaming different directions. But here's what nobody explains clearly. There's a difference between making money and building an asset. Making money requires your presence. Building an asset creates a system that works without you. And there's one asset that's been creating cash flow quietly for decades, while everyone else chased the shiny objects. Real estate investing. Now before you click away thinking I can't afford that, or that's too complicated, stop. Because that's exactly what I thought. And that assumption cost me 5 years of potential rental income. Let me show you something that changed how I see money entirely. Let's compare 2 scenarios using real numbers. Scenario 1. You negotiate a $15,000 raise at work. Feels amazing, right? That's $1,250 extra per month. After taxes, maybe $900. Your lifestyle adjusts. You're still working the same hours. You still can't leave. You still need permission for vacation. And if you lose that job, that income disappears instantly. Scenario 2. You buy one rental property with positive cash flow of $900 per month. Same monthly income, but completely different structure. The rental property exists whether you show up or not. It continues while you sleep, while you travel, while you work your job. And here's the part that breaks people's brains. It can be sold. That raise? Can't sell it. Can't pass it to your kids. Can't leverage it for more properties. The rental property is an asset with equity appreciation and real estate appreciation. The raise is just permission to trade more of your time. This is the difference most people never see clearly enough to act on. Now, I know what you're thinking. But real estate investing is complicated. I'd need a huge down payment. What about bad tenants? What if something breaks? I don't know where to start. Valid concerns, all of them. But here's what's actually true. Real estate isn't complicated. It's unfamiliar. And our brains confuse those two things constantly. Think about the first time you drove a car. Mirrors, turn signals, gas, brake, watching traffic. Checking blind spots felt impossible, right? Now you do it while drinking coffee and having a conversation. Real estate investing is the same. It's a learnable system. And the people making it seem mysterious usually benefit from you believing it's out of reach. The truth? You don't need to understand everything. You need to understand the next step. And for most beginners, that next step is house hacking. House hacking means buying a duplex, living in one side, renting out the other. You can use an FHA loan with just 3.5% down payment. Your tenant's rent helps cover your mortgage. You're house hacking your way into real estate investing while reducing your own living costs. For those ready to scale faster, there's also the BRRRR method by rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, which lets you recycle your capital across multiple properties. Most people ask, how much money do I need to get started? Wrong question. Better question, what do I need to understand first? Because here's the thing, knowledge removes fear faster than money ever will. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need $100,000 saved. You don't need to become a real estate expert overnight. You just need to start seeing the world differently. Start noticing. How do rental properties work in your city? What do they rent for? What do they sell for? Where do people want to live? This isn't research, it's awareness. And awareness is free. If you only understand one thing about real estate investing, understand this. Cash on cash return. Not just appreciation, not just equity, not just tax benefits. Those matter later. Right now, you need to understand cash on cash return as a concept, not just a number. Cash on cash return means measuring the annual cash flow against your initial investment. Find a property where the rent covers the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and expenses with money left over and you've calculated positive cash flow. That's your cash on cash return. Beyond cash on cash return, experienced investors also look at cap rate, capitalization rate, to compare properties across different markets. To calculate cap rate, you need your net operating income, which is your gross rental income minus operating expenses, divided by the property's purchase price. Here's a simple screening tool. The 1% rule. If a property's monthly rent equals 1% of the purchase price, it often cash flows positively. A $200,000 house should rent for $2,000 per month. Not every market supports the 1% rule, but it's a quick screening metric for beginner real estate investors. Consider vacancy rate in your calculations too. Even great properties have turnover between tenants. Most people think real estate is about buying low and selling high. Wrong. Rental property investing is about creating monthly cash flow you didn't have to show up for. Once that clicks, everything changes. But what if I mess up? You probably will, a little bit, everyone does. But here's what's fascinating. The fear of messing up in real estate is often bigger than the fear of spending 40 years in a job you're lukewarm about. We're terrified of a bad tenant, but comfortable with a bad decade. We're scared of losing $20,000 on a property, but fine with never building $200,000 in equity. The risk isn't in real estate investing. The risk is in never learning how it works. Because if you don't understand it, you'll spend your whole life making other people wealthy. Your landlord, your boss's shareholders, everyone except you. Here's the part nobody tells you. Financial independence isn't an event. It's not a moment when you suddenly make it. It's gradual. It's boring. It's one rental property, then another. Then another. The FIRE movement understands this. They target the 4% rule, also known as the 25x rule. When your investments generate 4% annually, you can live off that forever. This means you need 25 times your annual expenses saved. Real estate investing often exceeds that 4% safe withdrawal rate through cash flow alone, before appreciation. Property management becomes important as you scale. You'll either manage properties yourself or hire a property management company. It's not sexy. It won't make you Instagram famous. But it will quietly change the next 20 years of your life. Most people never start, not because they can't, but because they're waiting for certainty to show up first. Certainty doesn't come before action, it comes after. You don't feel confident, then buy your first rental property. You buy your first property, then feel confident. If you want to dive deeper, check out Bigger Pockets, the largest real estate investing community where investors share strategies and analyze deals. So here's the choice in front of you. You can keep doing what you're doing. Keep working hard. Keep getting raises. Keep hoping it eventually adds up to freedom. Or you can add one layer, just one beside what you already have, not instead of your job. Beside it, one house hack. One duplex, one small shift in structure. Because the people who win at real estate investing aren't the ones with the most money, the most knowledge, or the most confidence. They're the ones who started before they felt ready. And 10 years from now, you'll either wish you started today or you'll be grateful you did. The only question is, which side of that equation do you want to be on? If this shifted something for you, hit subscribe. Next video, we're breaking down exactly how to find your first rental property using the 1% rule and cap rate analysis even if you think you can't afford it.